I'm here with Liam. I've got to know Liam over the last year. We did some events in his space at San Francisco, got to know his company, wrote about some of the aspects of his company. We have some of these slides rotating as well about the company. And as Scott was saying, it's you might need to help us describe it, because whenever I describe it, I feel that I kind of get it wrong. Is it an electronics components company? Is it a VC? Is it? Can you give me the quick one-liner?
I think we're taking advantage of the opportunity that exists, where commerce in general is changing at a very fast pace, and all aspects of commerce in the future will be tied to a community, and you have to be able to connect with that community. And we talk about the experience economy, and we look at the companies we work with, we look with the consumers that buy the products. They want great experience, and they want to create great experiences, and that's what we help companies do. Over the last 19 years, we've built what we call as a full stack company. We don't do the industrial design, but everything from industrial design forward we do. So the product design, the engineering, the manufacturing, the packaging, the logistics, right through to delivery. And
we see some of the pictures here as well, where we see the guys designing or testing products.
That's from our Highway 1 facility in San Francisco. Some of the earlier photographs there were showing some of the workers on the production lines. And you'll see workers on production lines all the time. But one slight difference, we actually name the workers on the lines.
So it's very interesting. So you basically you make products in China and you get it to people, and often the people who are making the product are nameless, invisible. And it's really interesting. One of the interesting things for me and your company is, the fact that you pay attention to these workers. Can you tell me about why that's important?
It's natural. I mean, when you spend 19 years building a company and these people work with you, they're part of that story. So it's only right that you share the success with them, and that they see, they understand all the products that they're working on and where they go. And we go right down in our sustainability report. We go right down into the entire supply chain, and we apply the same transparency anywhere we can.
What does that mean for the workers themselves? How do they feel about the product and
There's a great sense of care in the work they do, and how they actually, even like we manage. I think last year we shipped about 120 million products that would have ended up in retail or direct to consumers.
That's a lot of products. So what type of products are these? Are these stuff that we would have?
I would say every person in this audience has a product that we would have touched at some stage.
Wow.
Because we work with a lot of the big consumer brands, and we package the products, and we manage the out-of-box experience. And all of the companies we work with care about this. We work with companies that are passionate about design, they're passionate about brand, and they're passionate about the consumer experience. We've no interest in a company that comes to us and they don't care about brand, or they don't care about design, or the consumer experience, because all we'll ever do is add cost. We need to be in a place where we add value. And that's why focusing on those three things really help us. And that's where we get the workers.
What has the transparency? Transparency with the workforce and the supply chain. Why is that important to that?
Transparency. Value? I mean, I think it has so many different. Like, people think that transparency is just about improving worker rights. It's about a lot more than that. It's about creating a great supply chain, but it's also about engaging with the consumers that buy the products. Because I showed you earlier if you look at an Uber receipt, you'll see the entire journey. You'll see all the details you need to know about the journey, the driver, the car, the time, the map, the price, everything. We will do the same, or we can do the same. We've done it for products. So you can go on our receipts, and you can actually track a product right through that process. The factories, the workers. There's one photograph there. I think it's coming up soon, showing all the workers that were involved in a product, and we can track. I think the one I showed you was from a fulfillment center in China to San Francisco. Was 4 days, 5 hours, and 14 minutes. That has huge impacts.
And you're not afraid of showing what's happening in those factories?
Absolutely not. I mean, for me, all of that transparency raises the standards. It's amazing when you engage with the people that own the factories. and you explain this to them, they actually get a sense of pride and say, yeah, okay, we want to be part of this. And very quickly you'll find out the kind of the factories you want to work with versus the ones you don't want to work with. And even the ones you don't, I mean, you can help them as well to improve. And it's amazing because as you put a spotlight on it and you are more transparent, the quality of the work improves, everything improves. The sense of pride from the workers, from the people, it changes as well.
And then you use this example of the Uber receipt, so you can then, every product that you touch or are involved in can provide hyper detail about its journey.
Absolutely, and that's like for consumers. Consumers want to know where the products are coming. If you give consumers the choice and you give them, here's information that shows a well-managed supply chain versus one that it's a black box and no one knows where it's coming from. If you can educate consumers and you share that information, they will make a decision, and they'll make a decision that's a better decision.
Talk to me a little bit about other companies you admire in the space and what we can learn from them.
I mean, in the transparency, the company we always look at is Patagonia. And it's people like Rick Ridgway there that lead sustainability, and just the way that they are completely transparent. And just the effort that they put into...
Can you describe that transparency and any particular aspect of which you are?
They're very open with their, the factories. They're very open with the information that they share. Their sustainability report is one which we spoke with Rick very early on when we were writing our most recent report, because we just wanted to make sure that we're sharing, information in a way. It's not about auditing the factories anymore. It's about just being, informing everyone in the community. That's everyone, that from the factory owners to the workers to the right the way down to the consumers. And that's spending time with Rick really helped us in that.
Okay, let me ask the dumb question. Why doesn't everybody do this?
I think that there's so much change going on in the world today, and I think that I love, I've seen it a few times where at Facebook they say, making the world smaller and more connected. If the world is smaller and more connected, which I completely believe that it is now, that you can track anything, any data you need. When I went to China 19 years ago, all you had to do was find a factory, get a name card of somebody at the factory, and the chances of somebody finding that factory would never happen, right? It was just because there was thousands and thousands of factories there. In today's world, you're like, you're 16-hour flight and you're 2 hours away from most of the factories. And it's much more transparent, it's much more open, and I think that more and more brands will start to embrace this.
Sure, I mean, it connects with things that Daniel from Kind was talking about. Doing good is better for business. Absolutely,
there was no question. When we engage with our sustainability program, the more transparent we are, the less risk there is in our business.
So let's talk. For a long time in your journey, you've been running a company behind the scenes, touching a lot of products, and more recently, you've been involved in companies that we might know about. You have a Highway 1 accelerator that touches a number of kind of cool startups that you might see on PSFK.com, including Ringly, Little Bits. Can you talk a little bit about how you're bringing that ethos to those companies?
Yeah, for us, so I spent 10 years in the fashion industry, and one thing I learned from the fashion industry, I'd go to a fabric fair, or go to a mill, and you'd buy a fabric, you bring it to a contract manufacturer. And right up until the last minute, I could change the styling of the garment or the choice of what the garment was going to be from that piece of fabric. It gave me huge power over the creative process. When I entered into the tech world, I saw these product roadmaps, technology roadmaps that were like 2 years, 3 years. It was crazy. It was like, it really limited creativity. That changed, we saw in 2007, 2008, we saw that there was a downturn, and actually engineers started to work from their garages. The factories started to do more prototyping. And what happened was we saw that they were working with products like Arduino, products like Linux as a software, 3D printing. So now all of a sudden we saw that the fabrics of technology were changed. and it allowed for more creativity. It's amazing in the manufacturing process. When you give a designer or an entrepreneur, you give them that first prototype, that's a moment of magic. It's a moment of truth, where that's where the creative process really starts. And these new tools, the new fabrics of technology, for us, created a prototyping renaissance, which created a hardware renaissance, or is creating a hardware renaissance. And that's what's driving a lot more of these hardware companies that you're seeing coming to market, like Littlebits, like Ringley, like Adaptix, and their product Drop. And for us, when I look at the process then, so we had the prototype, we had the prototyping, we could make it. What was broken, and what I think is broken, and why you're having companies in China with huge valuations in the hardware space, is that the route to market is hugely broken here. The contracts, the big barrier to entry still is the contracts that the startups get from a big box retailer that says, we want 3 months of channel inventory, we want 120-day payment terms, we want the right to return, we want co-marketing funds.
So all these barriers seem to be...
So that was the thing that we saw as being, how do we change that? And that's what our focus is. Because that's what's going to drive huge innovation in hardware companies.
Sure, so we see all these this innovation in Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and other services fueling this innovation, but it seems to me that once they get that product and get past that first distribution, they stumble because of the retail and the distribution.
Correct, and for us, it's great that the retailers now are paying more attention to the startups, but they're still, you still have to create the right environment for, to bring the entrepreneurs and the startups, and to ensure, for me, the big challenge is to ensure every Monday morning when there's a partnership meetings going on in Sand Hill Road in Silicon Valley, where the VCs are, that when a hardware company comes in, it's not treated any different to a software company. Today, it is because of the working capital required in the channel. Now, that's becoming less important.
So leads me on to your exploration into retail. So there's this company, well-known company, Fab, hundreds of millions of dollars invested into it, and you bought it recently, yeah?
Yes, we did.
How much did you buy it for?
Can't remember.
Can't remember.
I remember when we did it, I said it to all our team, I said that, look, let's not get distracted by the price here, because if we focus on the price, we're going to make a big mistake. Let's focus on what the opportunity is and to create something really exciting. I spent 10 years in the retail, in fashion retail in Dublin, in Ireland, and we had a store on Grafton Street for many years, and 12,000 people an hour passed that store. Now, if a person steps off the street and walks into the store, you have 3 seconds to capture their imagination, to capture their attention. And that's an amazing moment of truth. It's an amazing opportunity as a retailer to be able to create that experience, to bring people through your store and through a journey. And when I look at, so I spent a lot of time, and I travel around the world quite a lot, and I always look at retail stores anywhere in the world, and I look at retail experiences, and I look at, if you look at the high street stores here, when I ran that store in Grafton Street, it was a high street store, but we were owned by a destination retailer, and a destination retailer was, I always thought they were a bit lazy, because they didn't have that sense of urgency when somebody walked in the door, because they had a mousetrap and they walked around, and we were led around to different parts of the store and captive audience. But when I look at the high street here, and I look at in the world we work in, a lot of the tech products, the destination, on the high street you have destination stores like carrier stores. And anybody who goes into a carrier store, you're in there, you're looking at your watch, or you're looking at the time, look, I have a
carrier
problem.
Stores like where you buy a telephone, yeah?
Yeah, telephone. Because you just want to get out there. You're in there, hey, you're wasting my time. I want to get out of here because I'm here because I have a problem with my phone, or I want to get a new phone, or you're not there at a buying experience. Your mind is not open to buy, okay? So we want to create an experience with our pop-up stores that we will create with Fab that creates an experience that people will be open to buy, that will entertain, that will excite people. It's something which we will partner with brands to bring products to market and tell the stories of the products as well.
So fantastic. So you have a digital retail experience that's not going to come to life through pop-up experience. They're going to be temporary pop-ups, yeah, in different spaces.
Yeah, I mean we're still working on the plans. We'll relaunch it probably later this year, but I think next year you're going to see quite a lot of development in it.
And
it's really exciting for us.
And the type of product that you're going to be selling?
Lifestyle products.
Lifestyle products.
When you look at the products we work with, just go into any of the, one of the great retail experiences that I like at the moment is when you go to the new international terminal at LAX airport. It's a Westfield Mall partnership with LAX, and what they've created there I think is just great retailing. And again, when you go through a store, like a retail space like that, there's nothing in there that we can't touch. Again, we manage the out-of-box experience on these products, which we package. Yeah. We manage the engineering, product development.
But are you going to, look at these stores differently? People don't. There's a whole conversation about what happens in a store, whether they are there to pick up merchandise or whether they're there as experiences.
We think the experience and the opportunity will be, everyone talks about omni-channel. Yeah. We think that there's just a great experience. We know we can deliver product anywhere in the world within, we operate on the basis we're 3 days from all the factories we work with. Yeah. We're 3 hours from all the factories and 3 days from 90% of the consumers that buy the product anywhere on the planet.
You were telling me before we came on stage that your idea is to ship direct to customer.
Oh yeah, it's interesting. We actually signed a contract with Radio Shack in January of last year. Everyone thought we were crazy at the time. We knew at the time that they were probably going to go out of business, but we wanted to do an experiment and we wanted to test, and we convinced them to let us ship direct to store. We ship direct to 4,200 stores once a week. We ship to 2,000 stores twice a week from China. Yeah. We reduced the inventory in that channel from 3 months to 6 days. The impact on that, just think about all the warehouses full of, with capital tied up around America. You release a huge amount of that. And I'm talking about the kind of products which we work. I'm not talking about commodity product that people expect to turn up same day, next day. But the kind of products we work with, people will wait 3-4 days.
But isn't Amazon teaching us to expect products in 1 hour?
That's great. There are products which you need, which you would expect in 1 hour. But it's interesting because I talked about to our guys. I said, look, if free shipping is not innovation in e-commerce, it's desperation. And when I look at that, we're going to. I've been telling our people that we want to put up a survey when we relaunch Fab, and it'll be, do you prefer beautiful products or free shipping? And if you click on free shipping, we'll send you somewhere.
with an affiliate link. Hopefully,
yeah, and it'll be, and then when you come back, there's going to be a rope outside.
That's fantastic. Well, we've run out of time. It's been very interesting to understand a little bit more about the complexities of your company and the progressive ideas that you have. So please thank Liam Casey of PCH. Thank you.
Thank you.